Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. And we're all about names, and so we've got an extraordinary name today, Twila True. What is that name? It's amazing, gorgeous. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
You're an entrepreneur, investor, and philanthropist.
I am, and a mother of 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
4.
and I just turned 49 last week, 2 weeks ago.
Goals, right?
Last year with a 4.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yes, thank you.
So, you know, reading your bio is interesting. You come from a tribe, LaLa, is that?
I am a Ogallala Sioux.
Ogallala
so I'm a
Sioux.
Lakota. So if you've heard the pipeline
Right.
in North Dakota, I'm South Dakota. So,
So
yes.
you literally have come from, as it says in your bio, one of the poorest communities. I mean, that's incredible. To now you're an empowered woman, mother of 4, living the dream, boss.
Thank you. We were just saying that's a new term that I've heard, and I'm getting comfortable with it. But yes, the Pine Ridge Reservation is the poorest place in the country. So it's not the poorest reservation. It's not, you know, a set of a poor community. It is the poorest place in the country. So the average income is $3,500 per year, 17 people per household.
Oh my God.
Life expectancy of 45 years of age, 80% high school dropout rate. So it's a tough place.
So what was your wake-up call for deciding you were going to take this path of leadership?
I don't know that I ever knew. I don't think I chose the path. I think the path chose me. And I think that I took every opportunity to just ride that path. And I wish that, just like my name, that I had a romantic story behind it, but I really don't. I just knew that I saw a lot of poverty around me. I saw teenage pregnancy. Most girls get pregnant around 12 or 13. And I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want. And I knew that, you know, the government was not going to ride in to help you. You weren't going to get there just sitting around, and I had to figure out something to get out of that.
And so tell us about that journey.
You know, from a very young age, everybody's got such a fantastic journey, and I think there's so many hardships in everyone's life. And I think I've been touched by every single one of those. But fortunately for me, I didn't realize that those were hardships, you know, when it's your life. When it's your life, you're just surviving and you're trying to get from one place to a better spot to a better spot. And then I had a great sense of community around me. So I had tribe. So the first thing that you have when you have tribe is you really, when people say the word tribe and community, it doesn't even touch the surface of, I have a place, I have a belonging, I have people who love me. And in one sentence, I can say it's the poorest place in the world. I can say it's the poorest community in the U.S. But then I can also tell you it's super rich with culture and beliefs and ideas and a way of being.
Right.
And for me, that's what makes me very prosperous today.
So do you cringe when the white girl says, join my tribe online?
No, not at all. I'm not, you know, there are things that are offensive, of course, but I'm not lightly offended. You know, there's just people who just say things for fun, or if you don't know that it's offensive, or I think that there are people that know that there are things that are offensive. Well, now I'm offended because you know that you're offending. Yeah. But no, I'm not easily offended.
Nice.
I really am excited about the new platform you've created with
Thank you.
Rival Glam. Congratulations on the massive success you've had as an entrepreneur, as an investor, and in creating a community for women to rise together in that tribe, in that community. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, if I were to race forward to that, so I have a portfolio, I'm an investor, and I have now over 50 companies in the portfolio. So from real estate, jewelry, beauty, a food and beverage business, retail, lots of different things in it. And so for me, coming, I think, from one side of the pendulum and all the way, I can tell you with humility that I have no needs, I have no wants. I've kind of, every bucket that I sort of made for myself, you know, I hit. And then you say, okay, but what else is next? What else could there be? And whenever you think you're there, whenever you think you've got everything, and especially if you think it's financial or if you think it's superficial, or you realize that it's not. You know, I know a lot more happier people on the reservation or in a community or in middle class than I do wealthy people that are way more messed up, you know, are not happy, you know, have multiple divorces, just a lot of mess going on.
Why do you think that is?
I think along the way, to be honest, we can lose ourselves. So as I take that journey from here to there, I think that I've been fortunate that I always go back. I always go back to the tribe. I take my children back, and I think that when you hit ground zero and you take your heels off and you take the lashes off and
Tie your hair back.
and then I'm sitting in and I'm amongst them, and we're doing what we have done for hundreds and hundreds of years, and I'm sitting amongst them, and you can't tell me from the person standing right next to me. It kind of just gives you a humility. So I think that sometimes in that journey we can lose ourselves, we can lose our identity, we can lose our humility, and we can think that we're kind of better or something. And I think that's when it all starts to go wrong.
Right. So well
What do you think is the essence of happiness, in addition, of course, to sort of knowing who you are? Is there anything else that you would add to that?
So in my place today, I would say that the essence of happiness is that, for me, I have a fantastic marriage. So we've been together for about 20 years.
Congratulations.
4 children. And today what I have discovered is I've enriched myself, and I've gotten everything that I can for me, and everything that people would say, oh, okay, this is a measurement of success. But now when you can sit back in an audience and when you can do for others, and not for a pat on the back, nobody knows that you did it, not to be on a magazine, not for any of those things, just to say, wow, I touched that person's life, or I made them better, or I made a difference. And then when you wake up in the morning and you look, gosh, money can't buy that. And then that's when on the very inside you can look at yourself and say, okay, I'm okay with this, without that, me as a person, I'm okay with myself.
So true, so true. So what would you say
beautiful.
to the woman out there or the man out there that is not an investor, they're not a philanthropist, maybe they're coming from, scarcity, if you will, where would you say they can learn and get the skill set that it takes to do the other part of it? Beyond the heart and that fulfillment of love, how do they find the skill set to actually build wealth?
I love that question, because many times I'm sitting in panels and you're sitting there, or you hear someone else say, what do you do? And they say, well, just go for it, or just do it. And you sit there and you say, okay, but after that, what do you do? After you decide to go for it and you have a dream. I think that it's all about knowing, having a focus of what is it that I want to achieve? What is it that I want to be? And disregarding everyone else around you and just saying, believing in yourself first. So no matter what happened, if I went into the story of my life, there were from bombs to mishaps to family to so many reasons why you can't. And I had just decided for myself, it was nonsense. I didn't listen to it. I didn't let it affect me. I knew what I wanted. I knew that life was going to be nothing but hurdles. So if you're going to come into this with entitlement, if you're going to come into it thinking, the first time I skin my knees, that's it, I'm going to count myself out. You got to give yourself the total opposite thought. Give yourself the goal. What is it? Know that everything's going to try to knock you down along the way, and then just say, but that's for me. And I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it. Then after that, what you do is you just take little tiny steps, get yourself in the room, I only have a high school education. So first in my bloodline to get even a high school education. Wow. So there again, another hurdle, but there's so many ways to learn. There's so many ways to earn respect. There's so many ways to be in the room and just work hard.
How do you get over the hurdle of self-doubt?
Of what?
Self-doubt.
How do you get over the hurdle of self-doubt? I think that for me, I just never let it in. And if someone else has doubt, or if someone else had a problem with me being a minority or being a female or doubting that I had the skill, it never was my issue. It was their issue. And I kind of looked beyond it and rose above it. As a female, I can tell you that what was important to me is I always dressed for who I thought I was going to be. I always had the persona of what I thought I was going to be. So I think that really helped me in a weird way, and I don't know if this sounds very strange, but when you have that way about you and you are who you think you are, someone else can come to a room and it's chaos and it's this, and I can go into a room and I know who I am and I know my situation, and it all stops.
And you represent that,
I think so.
powerfully.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to.
Who have been some of your greatest teachers?
My greatest teachers have been, one, the tribe, two, my grandmother, who just said, again, empowered, you're great, you're going to be great. So my English name or my American name is Twila True, but my Indian name is Tokataye Wawokiawe. And that's given to you. And it's a woman who walks toward future. So that's why I say, I think that when you feel like that's your destiny and you're just walking the journey, not that you're climbing the hill and everything's against you, you were already meant for that, and it's in you. And it doesn't matter the measurement of here or here, it's all about, did you do it with the best you could and with dignity and respect?
Right. We say the work is really getting out of the way. So I truly believe that we have a destiny, and the destiny really is our highest, greatest self, that unique divine expression that we each individually have. But I agree wholeheartedly that it's really just doing the work to get out of the way, releasing all those limiting beliefs and knowing the truth of who you are. So I'm so honored you're here today. Thank you so much for being a leader for not only your tribe, for the world, for women, and just knowing that we're just excited to watch your journey and everything you're doing to give back. So thank you so much. How can people find you?
Me. Twila True, twilatrue.com. And I think there's a ton of others, but I don't know.
Well, my goodness, you are empowering, you are enlightening, and you are absolutely enchanting. Thank you for
Thanks
being
so much.
Thank you for
Thanks.
having
Stay
me.
tuned. We'll be
Thank
back
you.
with more on Good Morning La La Land.